Hi guys, this is John Mathew. I am the CEO of Republic Investment Group. The purpose of this video today is just to get a little bit of introduction about myself, talk about me, a little bit about my family, and a little bit of my background and how it relates to our business today. Let's go. So one question is, what's one thing that most people don't know about me? I think this may be a surprise to some, and it may not be, but at the age of 10, I was actually doing stock trading. The reason I had to do that was because I decided to invest in stocks, and he needed somebody to make sure that that they did all the calls correctly. If we were on margin, what the difference was. So I learned by fire. I actually got into stock at a very young age. Watched CNBC in the mornings, throughout the day on the summers, trying to really know a lot about investments and stocks as a kid. I start my day like I do as I was 5 years old, or the time I could remember. I would start with a prayer. So every day we start with a prayer in the morning, and we make sure that we start our day correctly, thanking the good Lord for everything He has done for us. So what led me to this career was purely an accident. Like most people, you go do what you're supposed to do. What happened in 2002 is I actually bought my first house. And when I bought my first house, I naturally did a house hacking, which basically I bought a 5-bedroom house, and the 4 other bedrooms, I got roommates to pay me rent. So I had the benefits of being a landlord, and I was living in the house the same way most people do, like quadplexes or triplex or something like that, living on one side. But this one, I had the ability, because I lived in the house, it's up to, I was a good landlord because I could see when something goes out immediately. So there was some advantage to that, but that's not how the world works today. And other landlords are, a little bit disconnected from how things work. But my start was because I purchased that property, and I saw what value it did, and then what I did is I just repeated the process and did it in different ways and grew my business from that standpoint. I think it's very easy. It's my dad. I think I would tell you 100%. I would see him work extremely hard, be disciplined about a lot of things. If I could duplicate anything, it would be his work ethic, his ability to, solve problems. I think, as I was going through my life in high school, we were always trying to figure out what do you want to do? So I had a cousin who was an engineer, and, I guess at that time, outside looking in, it looked like a pretty good lifestyle. So I was like, I'm going to become an engineer. I think I can do it. So I followed people on the path, and I tried to figure out, hey, will this work for me? It's more, I didn't have enough knowledge to say this is exactly what I wanted to do or things. Most opportunities came to me in certain ways, and we I changed it and made it work to our benefit, if you will. So I love comedy movies. If there's a movie that has comedy, I can just sit, watch. I enjoy comedy because every action movie to me, yes, I enjoy it. If I see it on the big screen, it's the best effects and things, but to me, comedy is always the best. There are certain books and other kind of things that I do enjoy that molded me to who I am today. One is called The Habit. It's one, if anybody doesn't know it, it's an older book, but it really helped me understand how to make decisions, how to learn about myself. So I think it's one of those books that definitely impacted me a lot. So the story would be that initially in 2008, when the market crashed, I got a call from my dad, and he basically said, hey, I just bought a property. So he went to auction, purchased a property, and just basically told me that he's already acquired it. So again, live by fire mentality. We figured out, okay, what do we need to do to make this successful? What are the steps we need to take? I immediately went and got a real estate license, and then I decided, how can I best add value? Because at that time I was doing my full-time job. I was not able to get into it at that point, but I learned a lot about the different contractors. I learned about like how to set up the flips correctly. I learned about real estate side. I had to do several contracts. So he kept me busy, my side hustle for a little bit, right? So he kept me going for a little bit. And then basically when we had our kids, I decided at that point that I'm going to go full speed in this world. And, because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed problem solving. At the end of the day, if you ask me what I do, I will tell you I'm a problem solver.